Hey everyone, welcome back to Megaverse Builds. Today we are back at Spotify Camp Nou, fresh off a stadium crew that clearly did not slow down this week. From a massive diamond pod, now fully decked out, to the compression ring creeping right up to the edge of Tribuna, there is a ton of ground to cover. Let's jump straight into the lateral sector and work our way around the bowl. Down in the lateral sector, the diamond pod that once looked like the small one has completely transformed. This pod is now almost entirely covered with formwork decking panels sitting on top of the shoring beams, and dozens of workers are swarming the upper level right now, removing temporary tie rings and finishing up the deck. The shape of this pod stands out from its neighbors too, dipping lower in the center and rising up on both wings like a set of spread wings. Behind it, crews are aligning anchor guide rails for the mobility cores, hanging them down from the upper structure and lining them up section by section, though one stretch nearby still has no guides installed yet. Two more rolled fin panels that had been sitting bundled for weeks have finally been unrolled and mounted into position. A second diamond pod close by is still fully shuttered with formwork panels around its reinforcement corners, with little visible movement on site, and crews expect formwork removal there by the end of the week, based on the typical curing timeline. Nearby, a team was spotted reviewing progress at one of the mobility cores, checking details against paperwork before signing off on that section. Now, for the biggest headline of the day, and it is happening on the compression ring as it barrels toward Tribuna. Near the store diamond, crews have already set two radial beams paired with their pillars and falsework units, fully prepped and standing ready, which means the next phase is simply stacking phalange boxes onto that framework. Several aerial platforms are actively working that radial beam section right now, and anchor bolts connecting the beams to the pillars have already been finished off with anti-corrosion coating on one side, while the other side is still bare and waiting its turn. The ring is closing in on the tower crane, the exact marker set as a target for this stretch, and while it has not reached that point just yet, the pace suggests it will not take long. Compared to previous checks, several additional phalange boxes have gone up along this run, tightening the curve segment by segment. Around the North Goal Tribuna corner, fin support brackets are already installed and running deep into the lower soffit zone, with only the upper corner section still needing panels. Before we move on, please like the video and subscribe for more updates, because South Goal and North Goal both have plenty happening too. At South Goal, fin support brackets are now fully installed across the upper level, the mid-level, and the lower level on the right-hand side of this section, with only the left side still pending. That means this stretch is essentially finished on the support framework, and the next step is bolting in anchor points before the actual fins go up, matching what is already sitting to the right. Scaffolding is still coming down slowly from the interior side of the mobility core, and several workers are active in that zone right now as crews prepare to start mounting sandwich panels on the exterior face, something that already wrapped up on the interior about 2 weeks back. A stack of fin panels has been gathering nearby, along with two more panels that had been rolled up for a long stretch and are now finally unrolled and set into place, right in the zone facing the mobility cores. Some beams overhead still need their white coating finished before that section is fully ready for fins, and additional C-Flex material crates have been dropped off at ground level to support that push. Another encouraging sign in this South Goal stretch is the growing stockpile of fin panels waiting at ground level. Several bundles are now stacked beside the mobility cores, and after sitting rolled up for quite some time, two additional fin panels have finally been unrolled and installed into position. That leaves this entire section looking increasingly ready for the first continuous run of fins linking the South Goal corner into the main stand. Higher up, aerial platforms continue moving between the cantilever beams as workers finish applying the white protective coating to the remaining steel, while activity around the second overhang remains steady. With the support framework now virtually complete across this area and finishing work taking over, all signs point toward the exterior cladding phase accelerating over the coming days, bringing this section one step closer to matching the completed areas already visible elsewhere around the stadium. Over at North Goal, the corner section closest to Tribuna keeps building out its fin coverage, and a truck loaded with additional panels rolled in, ready to be unloaded for the lower soffit run, which carries a steep slope in this corner. A small 3-fin gap has been intentionally left in the middle section, mirroring the same kind of gap crews are leaving at other junctions across the stadium until sectors are ready to be joined. Anchor bolts still need to go in across several support brackets in this corner before fin installation can move forward there. The conduit piping running along this stretch has extended further than before, though a short section directly ahead still needs pipe runs completed. Nearby, the mobility core beams have gone from white primer to a full gray coat, prepping that surface for the first sandwich panels expected soon. Protective plastic wrap has already come off the fins installed earlier in the more established stretch of this sector, though newer sections still have their wrap on. A facade diamond in this same run is nearly finished on its final wall section, with only a small strip left before the pour reaches the top, and workers were spotted hoisting a bucket up the scaffolding to finish it off. Inside Tribuna, one facade diamond that had sat untouched for a long stretch finally showed real movement, with the first 2 glazing support brackets installed, an important first step after this pod had shown zero glass progress for a long time. The access door frame for that same diamond is also now in place. Along the terrace level, sleeper beams destined for the upper roof structure are being maneuvered into position with crane support, and cable routing continues along the front edge of the cantilever where the conduit housing sits. One mobility core along this terrace stretch is essentially finished with its sandwich panel cladding, while another nearby has seen no new panels added in several days. That wraps up every corner of Spotify Camp Nou for today, from a fully decked lateral diamond to a compression ring closing in fast on Tribuna. If you want to catch every beam, every panel, and every lift as it happens, make sure you are subscribed so you never miss an update. See you in the next one.